Hi guys, welcome to another video from myself, RC Steve B. This one is going to be something a little bit different. Earlier on today, myself and Mrs. RC Steve B, or my darling wife Claire, popped to B&M. Now, for those of you who don't know what B&M is, it's a store that we have, a chain store that we have here in the UK, logo, and it sells lots of things. It sells food, it sells kiddies clothing, but it also sells lots of gadgets, toys, all sorts. I suppose it's like a small version of Walmart, shall we say, here in the UK. It's like the old Woolworths used to be, I always think. It always reminds me of the old Woolworths stores back in the 70s and 80s. Anyway, we went in there to pick up a few little bits and I spotted this. Now then, on the back of it, it says it costs £12 with the wow sticker. When I got it to the till and asked them to check the price, because it had that on the back but it also had one on the actual racking, it was actually £6. So that's half price. Sorry, I was always good at maths. Not. And so I thought to myself, well, for £6, hey, I'm going to have it. Because I used to have a lovely little flat action cam that I used to mount to my vehicles. And I used to get some really good underbody shots on the old crawlers there. But unfortunately it took a drowning one day and decided to stop working. So I thought to myself, £6, what have I got to lose? Now, apparently it's by, well, first of all, it's by a company called Intempo. Active mini camera sport, 960p high definition, attachments included, compact size, perfect for adventures, user-friendly design. So you can't go bad with that, can you? And apparently, according to the box, if you see there, you can surf, you can canoe, you can run, jog, you can mountain bike, or you can ski. So, let's have a look, shall we, and see what it's like. Right, so, box. So it comes with a USB cable, which is now on the floor, and a destruction manual, which is there. But there it is. There is the little camera on a crocodile mount, if you can see that there. Not sure what good that mount would be, unless you intend on screwing it to something. Which I definitely do not intend on doing to the trucks, but as you can see, if you can clip it down with something else, or you can take that off, and I think, oh yeah, there we go, and that also spins round, so you can put the bulldog clip, the crocodile clip, whatever it is, anywhere you want, as long as it's vertical or that way. Can't do, or you could do horizontal actually and turn it round, yeah, so it could go in that way. So that's not bad. A charging point on the bottom and a USB slot there. It takes up to a 32 gig USB slot. I'm trying to think of something that I can give you a size. Bear with me. I can give you a size comparison to, and here it is, a Humbrol paint can. There you go. So it is roughly the same size as, well, it's a little bit smaller than a Humbrol paint can. Now, as I said, £6. Don't know what it's going to be like. For £6 you don't mind destroying it. I mean, obviously I don't want to. It's more picture quality that I want. I know it's not going to be 1080, it's only going to be half the 1080 quality, and I don't even suppose it's going to be HD, to be perfectly honest. But I'm going to put it on charge. It says that it needs to be on charge for 2 hours, and then I'm going to stick it on the old SCX-10 III up there, the Jeep, and I'm going to take it for a bit of a rip round the garden to see what it's like and put it through its paces. So I'm going to try it in different positions as well. So what I'll do is I'll show a quick picture of where the position is on where the camera is actually mounted, and then you can see what I can see when the video's running, so you can see what sort of a quality it is. As I say, £6, what can you do? But anyway, I will see you back here very, very shortly. And trust me, I haven't got a clue how this is going to turn out either, so it's a discovery for all of us. See you in a minute. Right, so here we go. Let's see how this pans out, shall we? The first one, as you can see, is actually mounted on the underside of the truck. I attached the bracket that comes with it to the bumper, so it was a bit awkward to attach, and of course without having the screen you never know whether or not it's going to be pointed in the right direction, but here we go. Right, first of all I can see it's focusing on the front wheels because it's quite zoomed in, but you can't actually see the axial bumper. It also looks quite overexposed, I've got to say that. The white balance isn't very good. In fact, it looks like I'm running on salt flats. Actually not, I'm running around my back garden, which, as you can see from the bottom of the screen, is mostly gravel. Now the other thing that you'll notice is as well, I've got it in 16:9 range because there is an awful date and timestamp at the top that you cannot get rid of. I've tried putting going into the text file and putting n, comma n at the end of the time, which people have said will get rid of it. I've tried all sorts and I cannot get rid of that timestamp. So what I've had to do is I have to go in and crop it. I've been in and cropped it so that it's 16:9. The same as my other videos, so that's why. Well, I've got to say that was a bit pants, to be perfectly honest. Right, now this one is actually mounted on the light bar at the top of the vehicle. Again, I had it angled down quite low, but all you can seem to see is the two spotlights which are at the end of the bonnet, and again it's very, very zoomed in. Not the best picture quality, not as shaky as I quite expected it to be, but because of the poor quality it does make it very, I don't know, difficult to watch, I'm going to say, because believe it or not I was crawling at this point. I know it looks like I'm racing around like nobody's business, but I was actually crawling, apart from there when I hit the shed. I'm really not impressed with this at all, I've got to be honest. Actually watching that has actually probably made me feel a bit travel sick, I will be perfectly honest. Okay, one last thing to try. Right, so I brought this so that I could actually drive over the truck. So let's have a look and see what that actually looks like. So we're back in the man cave now, there we go. It's very, very grainy. Very grainy. It's really not a good picture. And I don't know if there's something wrong with the timing either, because I'm pretty sure that I actually drove a lot slower than this, but it does actually go over the truck, go under the truck, but it doesn't seem to show any detail, which is quite disappointing. So what do we think in summary? Back to our roving reporter in the man cave, it's RC Steve B. Well, welcome back to the man cave. And spot the difference. That's because Wednesday, when the beginning part of this video was filmed, I had this on charge. It took a little bit longer to charge than I actually thought, and by the time it had charged and I managed to get the vehicle outside, the light was just far too bad from it, so we now know that it doesn't work in low light. Yesterday I was going to try and do it again, but it absolutely rained in stair rods. I have not seen it rain like that in years. I mean, it literally, I had my hood up, went round to pick my grandson up from school, and it was actually hurting my head. And no, it wasn't hail, it was actually rain. It was coming down that hard. So couldn't do it then, because even though it says you can go surfing and canoeing and all that, I'm not sure how waterproof it would actually be. And this morning, as you can see, I'm wearing a different outfit. I have been out with my guide dog dad, Brody, German Shepherd, who lives with me. I've had him since he was 7 weeks of age, and me and him actually go out to schools and youth groups and anywhere that really needs to learn about guide dogs, and we will do talks out there. So I've been over to a brilliant school in Warwick today, Cotton End School over at Warwick, and we've talked to 3 classrooms of children over there about guide dogs with another dog, Frankie, who's a guide dog mum, and a couple of other volunteers, Di and Gordon. It was absolutely wonderful. So if anybody happens to be watching from there, thank you very much for that. Wonderful. But back to the camera. So what do we think? £6 worth it? I don't know really. I really don't know what to say. I was very disappointed. I would argue with the fact that it's 960p because, well, as you saw from the video quality, there is no light differential. You know, it's either white out, as if you're driving through a blizzard, or it's completely dark, as you saw from the underside of the vehicle when I drove over it. The top mounted one, again, I don't know if it's the frame rate that it's actually filming at, but I don't suffer from motion sickness, but just watching that on the screen actually made me feel quite ill, so I apologise if it did anybody else. I don't know. I may use it to do drive overs, even though the quality is pretty poor. Would I buy another one if I knew now? No, I'd save the £6, to be perfectly honest, because there's always something else that I could spend £6 on rather than that. The other thing that I will say on the negative side, I can't actually think of any good things to say about it apart from the fact that it's quite cute. But then so are baby alligators. On the instructions that come with the box, with the packaging, it says that you press the button at the top there and hold it for a couple of seconds, and a blue light will flash there, or it's actually inside that little hole there, but it's because it's such flimsy plastic you can see it through the case in there. That will flash 3 times and it's automatically recording. Then if you press and hold it, if you press it quickly, the light goes permanent blue, which means that it's on pause, and then you unpause it by pressing it again quickly, and to turn it off you will press it again and hold it for a few seconds, and it will flash again 3 times to let you know that the recording has ended and the machine's turned off. Now then, just watch this, okay? Holding it for a few seconds. Purple, on blue, on blue, on blue, and 1, 2, 3. Now we know that it's recording, but apparently according to the instructions it doesn't do that. And to turn it off, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So even the instructions are wrong. So I am going to say no, I'm sorry. You know, it's up to you. If you want a cheap throwaway camera, yes, go and buy it. You know, don't use your GoPros, don't use your no pros, you know, the generic GoPros, but just if you're going to smash something up, put one of these on it. The only problem with that is you're not going to get very good pictures before it's destroyed, because it really is very poor quality. I will leave that totally up to you. You've seen the pros, you know, the fact that it's quite cute, and you've seen the cons, the white balance, the picture quality, the stabilization, which is 0, the zoom in, which is far too close, it should be pulled back a lot more. So you make up your own minds, guys. I really don't know what to say. If this one breaks, I will definitely not be buying another one. I will not replace it. I was hoping it was better. I was hoping it was a lot better than that. The other one is that bloody date stamp at the top. You cannot get rid of it. I've tried everything. I've gone into the text file and I've typed N right at the end. I've done apostrophe N. I've done comma N. I've gone the second line down and written no, comma no, apostrophe no, double slash no, forward slash no. You know, everything. I've tried everything to try and stop that date stamp from appearing on there, but but it refuses to. So hence why I said I've knocked it down to a 16:9 frame ratio so that it actually hides it. The only problem is then that zooms in a little bit more, so it does also again ruin the picture quality. But that's enough of that. As I say, make your own minds up. B&M, £6, stocking filler for the kids to mess around with. Ideal, ideal. Proper videoing, YouTube, that sort of thing, not quite so much. Okay, so but it's your choice. Now, make sure that you, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because we're going out on Sunday to Bradgate Park. First time I've been out with the crawlers, taking the yellow Jeep out that you saw the thing attached to, and I'm also taking out the 66 Chevy. So we'll have some good video from there. And then next Saturday, we're all meeting over at Burton Dassett Hills at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're going to have a couple of hours there before it starts to get dark. And we're going to see if we can actually get an evening run in as well. So if you're in the area and you fancy meeting up with us, we will be at Burton Dassett next Sunday, not this Sunday coming, as in not tomorrow, the next day, the following Sunday, which will be the, what day is it today? 25th. So that'll be the first week of November then, won't it? Yeah, so it'll be the first Sunday in November, I think, that we're meeting at Burton Dassett. But if you're also in the area and you happen to meet us at Bradgate Park on Sunday, pop over, say hello. We're quite approachable and really quite friendly. But in the meantime, enjoy the video, guys. Make your own mind up. And all I will say on the last note of goodbye, hope you're all okay. And until we meet again some sunny day, happy RCing. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.